3, 2, 1. Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BHawk Live. You know who I am. I am Spurge, the loudmouth of the UFL. I mean, there is no louder mouth than mine in the world of UFL football. But that's beside the point. We have championship weekend, and normally the way I've been doing this show, I didn't do it for the last 2 weeks because championships and all that stuff was already decided. So I was like, we don't need to do this show. But this weekend we do because we play DC. But I'm doing it differently. I'm actually bringing on another BHawk fan with me for this show. But there's a reason why I'm bringing this guy on. Because a lot of you guys know this guy, his wife, but most importantly, we all know our little buddy, Evan, who is running around every single game, all 10 games of the BHawk season. Eric, how is it going, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm good. So why are you nervous, Eric? We talk every week at the games, and you said you're nervous. Why are you nervous?
I don't know. Just I don't like being in front of the camera.
You don't like being in front of the camera? I will say this, Eric. You're not as handsome as Evan.
Well, he gets his looks from me, so at least half of them from me. So
I will say that. You're not as handsome as he is. But no, Eric, the reason why I wanted to have you on is because you guys have traveled in the last 2 years to literally almost every single BHawk home and away game, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, we just missed Michigan last year.
Yeah, you missed Michigan last year. But the reason I wanted to have you on is because the reason I got into the UFL was because of my two boys. I never got to take them to a football game when the Rams were here, right? And now here you are sharing this experience with your son going to these games. So as a father, that's the reason why, because I wanted to hear your meaning of why it's so exciting to have professional football in as a father-son type of thing. So why is it?
Growing up in Hawaii, all we had was the Pro Bowl. So once a year, we'd be able to go and watch pro football. Other than that, it was just a University of Hawaii football team. So when I got stationed here back in 2016, I was excited. I'm a Seahawks fan, so I was excited to see the Seahawks play the Rams once a year. However, the year I got here, they left. So we're stuck again, not with no pro football. And so the XFL came along, and it was cheap. It was pro football, so we jumped on right away. Season ticket holders back in 2020. Great season. Jordan Tomu was our quarterback. Unfortunately, COVID. Yeah, unfortunately, COVID cut it short. So we went 2 years without no football again, and when it came back, we jumped back on it and been trying to support them as much as we can.
Right. Now, how old is Evan? Because Evan became a staple along with like BHawk and a lot of the other kids. But Evan has become a staple. Like, how old is Evan? So let's go there.
He's 7.
Okay, he's 7. So he's seen it from, well, how old would he have been in 2020 then?
3 or 4 years old, because it started in March in that time. So his birthday's in April. So yeah, he would have only been 3 years old.
Okay, so did you guys take him to any games in 2020?
Of course. We got I don't know if hold on, let me see.
So as a father, getting to share this with your son, because one of the reasons I started this whole video podcasting thing even back then was because for the day when I pass on to the other world, right? That if my kids ever want to hear my voice, they can go online and watch all of my shows online, So that was the reason why I started this, so they could have that chronicle to keep my voice. So why is this so special for you to share these moments with your son?
Oh, I mean, when I grew up, I remember going to games with my family and UH games in the Pro Bowl. So, I mean, Evan, during the season, it consumes our whole life. I mean, we're watching between watching your podcast and your dad's podcast and going to the games and trying to hit every player meeting that we can. It consumes our life for the 3 months that it's around. So he remembers it and he waits for it every year. He kind of knows that after this it goes to the NFL and Dad becomes a Seahawks fan until December, January, and then once that goes away, we're back to being Battlehawks fans. So um, he looks forward. He wants to play football because we watch it so much and we're around the players so much. So he's gonna remember it for sure.
So I remember one of my special moments of meeting you guys, because I met you guys a thousand times at games and events and stuff like that. But I remember when we did the championship game in San Antonio. And this was like the first time we actually really talked to you guys, I think. It was me, Amanda, and Daddy Ed. And Evan come running up to us, and I'm like, hey, little guy, what are you doing down here? And then here you and your wife come up, and you guys proceed to tell us, we came down here, even though the Battlehawks weren't playing in 2023. You told us, and I mean, I still look, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it. You said, our son watches your show every week religiously, and he wanted to meet you guys. So we came down here just to meet you guys. And I was like, what? And I looked at you and I'm like, how do you let your child watch me? Because at that time I was a little mouth. And I was like, but like, so to me, that was very heartwarming that your son and you guys flew down to San Antonio to watch the championship game when the Battlehawks weren't in it. And you came to our event that we had where it was the super fan event where we did a big, show. And you were like, our son just wanted to come meet you guys. And we were like, oh, wow, that's just amazing. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you because that really touched me. And that was one of the moments that make this all worth it, that I keep doing this week after week. So I just wanted to say thank you. I don't think I ever told you that.
Yeah, no, we watch it. Like I said, we watch all your guys' podcasts, and when you guys were on, we put you guys on the big TV and watch it during the week whenever it came on. He just thought you guys were like TV stars, like actually on TV and stuff. So he's yeah. So it's cool for him to see you guys, and he looks at you. He thought of you guys like that. He still thinks of you guys like that. That you guys are like TV stars and stuff. Just like how he thinks the football players are awesome.
We see him every time we see him. We get our picture and all of that stuff. So that's really cool. So, all right, Eric, let's get into it. We've had a great season. I know me and you have went back and forth a lot this year over these teams, right? Huh?
Yep.
And you were like, our defense is this, our defense is that. And then I showed you something and you're like, where did you find all that stuff at? How do you, and I'm like, see,
you got the numbers.
Yeah. I'm like, our defense steps up when we need them to step up. Right. And it's fun. I like it. So let's get to it. Ready? Okay. The quarterbacks. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. So here we go. We got everybody. Is he really the villain now, or is he still loved here in St. Louis?
He's loved by us for sure.
Look at this. Look at this. But, now, I always mess her name up. So tell me, how do we say her name?
It's Kayala.
Kayala. Okay, I won't mess it up. I probably will. But okay. She goes, Evan even knows all the players' numbers, names. We quiz him all the time. I mean, the little dude is an encyclopedia of foot for the St. Louis Battlehawks. I will say that. I will say that one. All right, so here we go. We either get Max Dugan, right? Or we get the man that shirt you're wearing all the way back from 2020 to throw in some moment. Eric, let me let you know. He leads the league in passing yards. Leads the league in touchdowns. Leads the league in most pass attempts over 20 yards. And he is 5-1 in the dome.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he's going to be a tough one to stop.
So the way we do it is we pick who has the better positional players. I know who I'm going
Yep.
with.
I'm wearing his shirt. I know who I'm going for too.
So you're going to pick DC?
Yeah, he's the MVP, of course.
Okay. All right, so we agree there. Okay. We agree there. I figured you would say Max. I mean, you're right. I mean,
No, I mean Max is great, but he hasn't shown to be that proficient throwing the ball yet. He's got that long delivery. Brandon Silver's actually looked pretty good the last 2 weeks that he filled in for him. So um, hopefully they're not too shy to, if Max isn't doing it for us by half, and we need some firepower. We're not scared of throwing Brandon Silvers.
exactly. Okay, and I lied. Jordan is now number 2 in the league because he only played 9
Right,
games.
because he didn't play.
He
Yeah,
didn't
he
play.
didn't play last week.
He would be number 1. He would be number 1. Here's the thing with this. The way Jordan plays, especially in the dome. And I mean, okay, now what do you say right here? Kevin says that Silvers needs to start.
I think Max earned it to start. Like I said, there's some games where he did really good and he can throw the ball. And there's some games where he gets spooked and all he does is tuck and run. Um, I don't know what kind of Max we're gonna get tomorrow, but we might get a good one. And if he's good enough, then we'll stick with him.
Right. If you do remember, Max didn't play that well against the Battlehawks.
What do you mean, Jordan or Max?
No, Max did not
Yeah,
play that well against
DC.
Now,
Yeah.
he came in the first game. He came in and, he came in for Manny. But in his second game, okay, well, hell, he didn't even play in the second game either, if you really think about it. But let's just go to the game that he did play against DC. Now, mind you, he didn't really have any reps or anything like that with the team. And let's not forget, guys, Silvers can't throw the bombs. What's up, Wyatt? Silver can't throw the bomb, but he did play a lot of second stringers for DC.
Right.
So let's not forget that. But, I mean, Max was that the game that Max came in at? No, it wasn't, was it? No, but here's what they did against Manny Wilkins in the game they played him here in St. Louis. Manny Wilkins went 6 for 29, 147 with 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Not a very good, not too good. Would you agree?
Yep. But they stayed in it. From what I remember, they stayed in it until the last couple of drives where I think we made a mistake, and then they had that little tip. They had that little tip in the end zone where they got lucky and got that touchdown.
That is true. I mean, listen, everybody has heard me. I've said I'm not really a Max fan, but Max has earned it. And Silvers does have the playoff experience. But if you guys recall, Max did not do very good in his playoff experience
Right.
in the 2023 season. I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year. And Jordan plays so well.
We're 1-1. We're 1-1, right? So this is a tiebreaker. This is a rubber match.
For this season, yes, for this season. Yeah. But Jordan's record in the dome and the way that they play in the dome with the silent counts and all that stuff, I don't see it rattling Jordan.
No, and I think he's used to it. I think he likes it.
I mean, look, right here, JR says Silver throws to a 6'6" receiver. That's all he needs to know. The good thing is we didn't lose to DC by much with Manny turning the ball over. You're right, because we're going to get into that because there's a reason why we didn't lose. All right, let's go to running backs. Sailors, because he didn't play in the last game. He's at 499 yards and 5 touchdowns. And we don't have another DC person in here until number 13 with Abram Smith. Now, Abram did not look like the Abram of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Eric?
Yep. He's having a hard time this year, but he does good when they need him.
That is true. That is true. Now, if we have to go for running backs on this, right?
Is it running back room or running back like Jacob Taylor's versus Abram Smith?
Oh, we're going running back room. So we're going to include Max Duggan. We're going to include Duggan. We're going to include Ta'amu because Ta'amu is at 18 in rushing yards. Duggan is at number 12 in rushing yards. Duggan's got 5 touchdowns. Jordan has 2 touchdowns. Saylor has 5 touchdowns. And Smith has 1. So we're going to do it as a room, and we're going to include the 2 quarterbacks too also. And then you got Howard, who's been coming on as of late.
Yep.
With 3 touchdowns.
And Latulos. Yep. Yeah,
so
I think we definitely we got the running back room for sure.
I'm definitely going to agree with you on that one. I'm going to say BHawks also on that one. Now, Eric, here's where it's really going to get tricky. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to go to receivers.
All right. This is the one I was thinking about when you told me to come on this show and talk about these guys. You know,
okay.
I think we have a great receiving room. However, we don't have a throwing quarterback. So they're not being utilized to their fullest potential.
Amanda goes, there he is, Eric, in all capital letters with a bunch of exclamation points behind it. All right.
Yeah. So I like our room. However, the numbers aren't going to support how good they are because we don't throw to them that much. We don't have a throwing quarterback. Our quarterback runs more than he throws.
That is true. But let me break something down. In 10 games, Roland is at 522 yards with 3 touchdowns. He is number 2 in the league. Then you have Powell at 9 games, 114 with 7 touchdowns. Then you go down to Sanders for DC at number 11, 7 games, 332 with 3 touchdowns. Now, number 14 is the first time we see a BHawk clip on this, and that's 7 games, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Okay? And then we go down to Sailors at 245. And then we go to Pearson at 219. And he's at 25. And then you go to Blake Jackson at 31 at 194. You're right. We do have the better running room. But right here, receivers, DCs, if Max is the QB, if St. Louis is if Silver's throwing at St. Louis, well, we can go to the depth chart, and it looks like our starting quarterback is Max Duggan. So, yeah, where are you sitting at with that?
Well, I think we just have to give it to DC. Like JR said, if we had a throwing quarterback, I think it would be more. We could grade them more equally, or at least see which one really has the better receiving room. I just think our guys didn't have as much opportunities as the DC receivers to catch balls.
Yeah, I will go with you because of the way that they have done everything and the way that they've done it. I will have to go with DC as having the better quarterback room, or the better receivers for this game. Now, if for some freak reason Silvers decides to play, we could switch it. But guess what? It's Thursday, so we're stuck with DC. All right, here it is, the O-line.
Ooh.
Yeah. Listen.
How many sacks? How many times was Tom sacked this year?
I mean, that's what I'm going to look at right now as I go down and I scroll through. Look, I mean, I have made it. I've said that it doesn't tell you how many times he's been sacked. That's the funny thing. That's what I'm looking for. I've said it with this O-line, but there's a reason why we have the number 1 rushing offense in the league. There's a reason why. And it is because of the Knights of Columbus or Columbos. I mean, there's a reason why you have Jacob Sailors where he's sitting at. There's a reason why you have Max Duggan and Manny Wilkins sitting where they're at on the O-line. I mean, I like this. What do you think of this? I mean, they have to have shared packages or short leases on Max. You can't go into this game like last year where you didn't make the QB change during the game when you should have. What do you think about that?
And I think I talked to you about this earlier. You know, I think you give Max a half. You know, if he's working, then we keep him in and we keep on pushing. If he's not, I don't think Coach Beck can be too scared to make a change in the middle of the game. And you know, we don't want to go down not giving Silvers a chance when you know when we have a chance. I guess. So, yeah, I'm totally on board with that. We need to be ready to swap out if we need to.
Like we should have done that last year, knowing that AJ was hurt. You got to give a lot of credit to AJ. He came out and he played his heart out, but we knew he was hurt, right? But to keep them in there, I get why they kept him in there. You know, let him go down. He was the captain. But I think maybe if we would have saw Manny, it would have been a different kind of scheme. And we've seen what Silvers has done over the last 2 games. He's played good football. So I mean, I kind of agree. You keep Max on a short leash. If something happens, yank him, put Silvers in, and hopefully we're not too far out of the game. All right, so we go back to the O-line. You know, I'm going to give it just to the BattleHawks for the simple fact is what Sailors has been able to do all year and just the way that he has ran this through this league and the way Max has run through this league, I have to give it a slight edge to the St. Louis BattleHawks.
I can go with that. You know, I know last year Jordan had a rough year, so his O-line was letting him get beat up back there. And this year he's not taking so much damage, which is why I was asking if he knew how many sacks he took this year. But he's definitely standing up more this year, which gives him the opportunity to throw it on the field and hit his wide receivers.
Yeah, which for some reason you would think they'd have how many times a quarterback gets hit. But now nowhere in these stats do I see where a quarterback where he takes hits. I haven't seen it at all, which is absolutely amazing. So you're going BHawk 2, BattleHawks 2.
Yep.
All right, so now we do this a little different. We do the D-line, and then we do the linebackers, and then we do the D-backs. Now, this is where it really gets interesting.
I know a lot of our guys, and I know what our guys can do. I know that DC's defense is pretty stout too.
Well, here I'll give you some stats, right? So if you go into total tackles, right, the first player that we see for any one of these two teams is Willie Harvey at number 12 with 58 total tackles, 33 solos, 25 assists with 3 tackles for losses. Eric, you want to know who's right after him? It's a DC guy named Anthony Hines III with 8 games, 55 total tackles, 36 assists, 36 solo, 19 assists with 5 total sacks for loss, right? And then we go down a little further. Then we get down to 20 and 21. We have Cole and Rose. Then you go to 24. Now, those guys are some, but here's where we go. You go to the sacks, right? And in the top 10 guys for sacks, we have Pete at number 1 with 7.5. Then you have 2 DC guys and Andre Mintz with 5.5. Derek Roberts with 5.5 at number 4. And then we go back down to number 6, Joe Wallace with 4.5. Then we go to Chris Garrett at number 7 with 4.5. Now,
yeah,
some good numbers right there.
Yeah,
good numbers.
Guys in the top.
Right.
portion
Now,
of the, you
if you want me to go deeper for you, okay, we're going to go to some defensive stat numbers to help you put it into place. Now, the Battlehawks are number 3 in tackles. DC is number 7 in tackles. Forced fumbles, DC is number 1. Guess who's right behind them at number 3? The St. Louis Battlehawks. So, and then now we'll go with sacks. You have the Battlehawks at number 2, defenders at number 3, tackles for losses. We have the defenders at number 1, and the Battlehawks are all the way down at lonely number 7. So,
what was that for? What was that last one for?
That's our tackles for losses.
Okay. Yep.
Now, look, right here. Joe says our D-line and our linebackers are better. DC has the better corners. Again, I'm going to go to this. Tackles, Battlehawks number 3. Defenders number 7. Forced fumbles, number 2. Battlehawks number 3. Sacks, Battlehawks number 2. Defenders number 3. Tackles for losses, defenders number 1. And Battlehawks at number 7. If you ask me,
What are we doing? D-line?
we're doing just the D line. So that's those front guys up there.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if you ask me, just for the D line, I'm going push on the D line, on those front 4.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I'm going with a push. That's just me. Now, you thinking differently?
No, I think that's good. Yeah. For
right.
sure. They've we got more tackles. They got more tackles for loss. So is it, who's getting the tackles for loss? Is it the linebackers? Is it the corners blitzing? You can't really tell who's getting them. But yeah, I know our D line is pretty stout when they're healthy.
Correct. So we're just remember all of those stats because that's going to factor into our linebackers, right? So we go back up to our linebackers. Like I said, here you go. You have PETA sitting there at number 1 in sacks. Then you have, they have 3 guys in the top 10. You go to tackles and let's see, where's Travis at? Travis is sitting at number. Is Travis? Where'd he go? You got Harvey at number 12. Let's see. Cole Rose, O'Reilly at 24. For our linebackers, because PETA's a linebacker, right? And he does the outside and then he plays edge.
Yep. He plays the
right?
He plays the outside the outside opposite of Feeney.
Right. Here he is sitting at number, at 7. At 7, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. I look at this and I look at the linebacker. I look at those 4 guys right there with with Feeney and all of that. You know what? I'm changing something. I'm changing my D line because of the last couple weeks. I just now remembered this. The DC defenders have been getting ran on. Big ran on a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm going to change that. I'm going to go Battlehawks on the D line. Because I just now remembered that. Where our D line has been stepping it up.
Yep.
Do you want to change or do you want to stick with the push?
I'll stick with the push because I'm going to go linebackers on DC, or not DC, but Battlehawks.
Battlehawks, okay. You know what? I'll stick with my push. I should never change it. I should always stick with my gut. Yeah, I'll go with Battlehawks too on our linebackers. Now, the D-backs, I don't really separate these guys, but like Joe said right here, he says our D-line and our low linebackers are stuff. And, he said, and he goes, this is all. That's also the odd thing is PETA and Freeney technically outside linebackers are edge. but they both play defensive ends. I mean, they have the 4 guys up there, and then there's Feeney and Pita kind of sitting on that edge. So what really are they? That's why I put them in the linebacker section for myself. I put Feeney and Pita there, you know. Now here's the D-backs. Oof. Now listen. There should be one guy leading this league in interceptions. If he could actually catch the damn ball. Cole should be leading this league in interceptions if he could catch a ball. I mean, how many open air has he dropped?
Yeah. Well, that's why he's playing defense.
You go, that's why he's playing defense. So here, let's go to the passes defended, right? So you have DeAndre Barker for DC. He's got a total of 12 with 10 breakups, 2 interceptions. Now he's the only DC player with pass defense at number 3. Now we have number 4 with Chris Peyton Jones with 11, 9 breakups, 2 interceptions. Then we go down to Lucas Dennis at number 10 with a total of 7, 6 breakups, 1 interception. But here's where it gets really interesting. You have Cameron Kelly for the Battlehawks on interceptions. He sits at number 4 with 2 interceptions. Chris Peyton Jones, 2 interceptions. And there's DeAndre Barker with 2 interceptions. So we have 2 of the guys that have more interceptions. Okay. Now remember, I told you to remember these stats. With the passes defended, Battlehawks are at number 3. DC is at number 6. Interceptions, Battlehawks are at number 2. And DC is at number 4. Now, we'll throw in the turnovers with everything and all like that. DC and St. Louis are at 2 and 3. Okay, Dan Chandler is saying Chris Payton is out for the year. Oh, that's not good. That's not.
He got hurt. I think that's why I'm going to give, I think we have a lot of backups playing on our side for the cornerbacks and safeties. A lot of our guys got hurt. So
yeah, but right there, Donnie Abrams did have a big game. And he's playing for So, I mean, look, they say that, and that's right, but I'm Peyton Jones and Kelly are both out. But again, you still look at everything that the Battlehawks have done with the passing defenses and the interceptions and stuff like that. I'm just going by off the top stuff. Where are you sitting at with who has the better corners and the better defenders? Because you got to remember, we still have Cole. Maybe they just put some stick 'em on Cole's glove or on Cole's gloves, and he might get some interceptions. Maybe.
I don't know. It feels like every time we play DC, or the last time we played DC, they threw some. I mean, our cornerbacks and DBs, and they all got burnt. Even Arlington does it to us every once in a while. They'll just throw a deep ball, and our guys are chasing them down. Can't get to them. That's what's burned into my memory is during all these games, our DBs and quarterbacks and safeties are the ones that are probably the weakest part of our defense.
So you're going DC.
So, yeah, I'll give it to DC.
Oh man, see, for some odd reason,
if we had all our guys, I'd probably change my mind. I know a lot of our defensive guys are DBs are hurt and stuff, so that's why I'm going DC.
Right now, for some odd reason, I just have a feeling that Cole is going to have a big game for finally, where he's actually going to catch some interceptions. As much as I love Jordan, I'm saying Cole picks Jordan at least twice with one pick six. Gets an interception and then a pick six. That's what I'm saying for Cole. I don't know why. I just have faith in Cole. I'm going to go BHawks, even though I don't know why. That's who I'm going. That's who I'm going with.
Yeah, my hope is that Feeney and Pita and all those guys in the middle get some pressure on Jordan, and he makes some bad decisions, and the guys in the back can actually catch him and catch his bad balls and take him to the house.
That is true. All right, here we go. We go to the special teams. Are you ready?
Yep.
I mean, do we really need to do it? I mean, listen. Hey, Matt McCloy, Dad, I love you. Thanks for watching every week. I love you. But I mean, I can't go against Ricardo. Blankenship. I can't. Right?
No, he's nearly perfect. He had that one doink, and if the wind blew just a mile per hour more to the back, he would have made it.
No, I'm doing some adding here, right? Okay. So now, Eric, if you don't realize what the score is here, all right, I have the BHawks taking the edge 5-2. 5-2. That's how I have them taking the edge. Do you want to know what your score is?
Should be the same.
You're 3-3.
Okay.
You're 3. Oh, wait. No, I lied. I didn't count one for you. So you're 4-3. 4 for the BHawks, 3 for DC. Okay. Now here's the biggest thing, right? We come back to the dome. Let me paint the picture for you, okay? The throwing Samoan comes back to the dome. His record is almost impeccable in the dome. DC has not gotten a false start in the dome every time they've come and played in the dome. Oh, wait, no, Arlington corrected me. That's right. They did have 2 of them last time they played them, where we had 4 false starts, okay? So they beat us in the Jordan is 5-1 in the dome. This is the championship game. We have seen what happens to the BHawks when they actually play DC's actual front guys, their first string starters. The crowd is going to be loud of about 20,000 there. Actually, I've counted it. I'll tell you off the air. I've actually counted it. I'm working on it. Give or take 2,000 to 5,000. I'd love to find out exactly how many tickets are available for sale in St. Louis. I know it's roughly around 40.
I should be able to tell you.
It's around 40, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you this. There's now, give or take, I've done the counting. And you're right, Sabrina. The crowd size has no bearing on this game. I don't care how loud we get. We've seen what DC and Jordan and Coach Doorman Harris does. There are 22,000 available tickets left for this game, right? DC did fold in the XFL championship. You are right. That is one of Jordan's only losses. You're right. They did fold. Eric, where are you sitting at on this game?
And I think we're gonna pull it out. I think we're gonna pull it out. I think Coach Beck has been here. He was here last year. I think he knows what it feels like to lose. I think a lot of guys in that locker room felt it too last year when they lost to San Antonio. I don't think they're gonna let it happen again. I don't think our defense is gonna let it happen again. And by the defense, I mean the linebackers and the defensive line. They've got us through so many games this year. I think they're going to do it one more time. It's going to be a close game, and I think we'll edge it out with a stronger defense.
Now, see, Sabrina says, stop pissing on our crowd parade, too. Listen, I am so sick and tired. Eric, you got to admit it to me. You got to admit. Are you not just so sick and tired about how we are the crowd champions? We're the attendance champions. What has that gotten us? What has that gotten us, Eric?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. The FIFA starts. But yeah,
Exactly.
no, but I mean, but I think the players do feed off of it when they see it, when they feel it. When
I think
there's a
both
couple
teams
games
do.
where we're close. Yeah, but
I mean, that's why you look at all these games in St. Louis; they're close games.
Yep.
You know. Look, I don't care about the attendance championship. I want a real I don't want a participation trophy anymore in St. Louis. We haven't had a football championship here since 1999. 1999. I could care less about a participation trophy. You could take the attendance championship and shove it where the sun don't shine because I don't care about it. I don't care about it. I want a championship. And I'm telling you, Eric, and mark my words, the fix is in. This is scripted. The BattleHawks are winning this game.
Oh, you're playing into the script, huh?
Into Sandy Johnson's fear of the NFL being scripted. It's scripted, I'm telling you. The BattleHawks are winning.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I think BattleHawks are winning. I think it's going to be a close game. And like I said, I think it's the defense that's going to carry us through.
Oh, I agree. Listen, this defense has really stepped up in times of need. You know, hey, look, right here, what Denzel said. He goes, AJ McCarron failed us twice. All I'm saying, Duggan better get the job done. But I kind of agree with you, and I kind of agreed with JR. If Max isn't doing good and the game is still close, yank his ass and put in Brandon.
Yep.
I mean, Eric, like, let's just say that DC goes up 14 points right away. Okay? But I already have a BattleHawk. Oh, Dirty needs to get the 2025 tattooed below his BattleHawk.
Yeah, that'll work.
I'll say this right now. If the BattleHawks win the UFL championship, okay? If they win it, and hell, I'll even say this. If they win the XFL conference, I'll get XFL conference champs tattooed above the top of my BattleHawk tattoo. I can already hear somebody upstairs screaming. Eric, I can already hear somebody upstairs screaming. And if they win the UFL championship, I'll get the UFL championship tattooed underneath my logo on my leg. That's only if they win. That's only if they win. Look, I mean, I think this game is going to be really, really good. These two teams have played each other very, very, very well. I mean, even the second stringers, when we played them last week, I think the score was, 13-6, right?
13-8.
Something like, right, yeah. So you're talking a one-possession game again. And
right.
These two teams know each other. They have beaten the hell out of each other for the last 5 years, since 2020, right? And in my opinion, this is literally our longest and oldest rivalry. Right. And I think it got worse when Jordan left us, or when Jordan got picked up by DC and didn't come back in 2023 to the BattleHawks. I think it even got worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, as much as I love Jordan, right? I mean, he is the XFL Well, no, he's not the conference champ this year. He's not. That's Arlington, right? No, that's San Antonio, but they lost. They're out. I mean, Jordan's been here in these big games. Oh God, why am I even? No, I'm sticking with it. Battlehawks winning. Because the fix is in. That's all there is to it. The fix is in. The Battlehawks are winning. Watch. Mark my words. The Battlehawks are winning. All right, Eric. What do you think this score is going to be?
Ooh.
Do you want me to remind you what the other scores were?
No. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll remind you. So let me get back to let me go to okay, I got to do it this way. Oh, crud. Mary Mother of Joseph. Here we go. All right, here we go. So when we played them the first time here in St. Louis, the whole calendar's all changed and everything on the website. Hey, good job with the UFL for keeping their stuff up to date so fast, right? So when we played them week 3, it was 27-15, and then last week it was 13-8. That was the score. DC took the lead. And guess where they beat us at, Derek or Eric?
Where?
They beat us right here at home.
Oh yeah, the first game.
Yeah. We went to DC and beat them. So there's your scores. What are you thinking this score is going to be?
I'll go 27-26.
Ooh, 27-26. Battlehawks.
Yep. And I think Rodrigo gives us the kick that goes forward last second.
All right, so let me ask you this. So you know that if the game is very close, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the end of the game, that it's been known that if me and Amanda leave the game, the Battlehawks always win. So if the game is close with 2 minutes left, should me and Amanda be escorted out of the building?
No. No, I think you want to be in there to watch them win.
But anytime that's been a close game and we've stayed, they've lost.
Well, it's time to break that.
Every time it's been a close game and we left, they won. So you don't think
I'd want to be there.
You don't think we should be escorted out of the building?
I don't think you guys are a curse or anything like that. I think I think we got it this time.
Sandy says 24-14. Arlington says 18-17 Battlehawks. Arlington says
that 1 point game.
Oh man. I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is going to be the 20,000 fans that are in attendance. Oh, you're right. Damn it. He got me. Damn it. You're right. We won for Birmingham. You're right. I forgot. No, he's calling me too, yelling at me. JR says, I might be crazy, but the last few weeks, DC didn't even look good. Even before the last 2 games, I think this may be a Battlehawk blowout. Well, JR, I'm going to agree with you. Denzel Vance says 35-10 Battlehawks.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. How can you do that in this league? You'd have to get a 7 and then a field goal, right?
Yep.
I'm going to say it right now. Are you ready? I'm going to predict it. Just like I always do. He goes, I actually called you for something else, LOL, but I forgot you were live. I'll call you in a few seconds. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You ready? This is going to be a low-scoring game. There's only going to be a total of 300 yards total offense for both teams.
Wow.
The score is going to be the exact same score that we saw week 10, 13-8. I think the 20,000 in attendance, give or take 2 to 5,000 fans, 2 to 5,000. That's the score of this game. It's going to be 13-8 Battlehawks. I'm sticking to it. That's how it's going to work. What do you think?
That was in the rain. That was in the rain, bad conditions, second strings. I don't think it's going to be that low.
It's going to be. I'm telling you.
Isn't it?
It's going to be that low. This is going to be a slobber knocker. As good old JR used to say, we're about ready to watch somebody get whooped like a government mule and a slobber knocker. Is what we're getting ready to see this Sunday.
Be a tough one, I know.
Yeah, but I actually like your score better, 27-26. I'm just saying. All I know is this. There you go. 13-8, 6 by Cole. Telling you, that's what it is. All right, Evan wants to say hi. Tell Evan to come on. Let's get him on. Where's he at? There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Get up here, Evan. Get up here. Come here. What's up, pal?
Hi.
This is the future host of BHawk Live. This is the guy who's going to take this show over. Evan, you're going to take this show over from me one day. Are you not?
Maybe.
All right, Evan. I'm going to ask you. I know you love Jordan Ta'amu. Look, we got people saying hi to you. I know you love Jordan Ta'amu, right?
Yeah.
But who's winning this game? DC or the Battlehawks?
Battlehawks, of course.
All right, what's the score going to be? Your dad said it's 27-26. What is your pick?
It's going to be like 27-16.
27-16, and you're saying Battlehawks, right? Look at this, man. Evan, you're getting more love than me and your dad. Everybody's like, let's go. Look at that. Let's go. Yeah, you're right. Evan, they want to know, can you read?
Yes.
You can read better than me, can't you, pal?
Maybe.
All right, you want to say hi to anybody while I have you on here, buddy?
Maybe my buds that sometimes come to the Battlehawks games.
You're talking about
in the
Bella?
zone. Yeah,
You're
Bella, Charlie, Kevin, other people.
There you go. All right, buddy. I will see you Sunday.
Okay.
Evan, give everybody a call, will you?
Good call!
Oh, God. There we go. All right, Evan, one more question. You traveled to all these cities to watch your Battlehawks play, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you that you get to do that with your dad and your mom, to travel to all these games? What does that mean to you?
I don't really know because it's so exciting to go everywhere and see other cities and players every year.
Okay. So with that being said, what was your favorite city?
Most is DC and Birmingham.
DC. Oh, DC and Birmingham. Why DC?
Yeah.
Why DC? Because of Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan, and also we saw that Under Armour place.
Oh. All right. Now, why Birmingham?
Because they had those big chairs, and they also had some like places that I could see and like shop.
Okay. All right. All right, buddy. I will see you Sunday. Let's go Battlehawks. And shouldn't you be in bed? It's 9 o'clock. I like it.
Oh, no.
All right, Evan. I'll see you Sunday, buddy.
Okay.
All right, pal. All right, give it back to your dad. Now, I asked him, I'm like, shouldn't you be in bed? And that's when he side-eyed you.
Yeah, well, it's summertime, so he gets to stay up a little later.
Right, yeah. All right, Eric, before we go, I do want to say this one thing to you. What a lot of you guys don't know is Eric is a retired serviceman. That's right?
Right.
Right.
Retired
So,
Air Force.
Eric, on behalf of BHawk Live and all of that, I want to say thank you for your service. Thank you for everything that you did give idiots like me the opportunity to do this kind of stuff and all of that good stuff. And thank you to your wife for her service and all of that stuff. So that's all I wanted to say. You got anything else you want to say before we get done with this show?
Let's go BattleHawks.
All right. Other than that, this is BHawk Live. We will see you guys Sunday. Hey, you guys know where to find us. Grace Baptist Church parking lot, right? We have the tailgate there. Come by, see everybody. And other than that, Eric, we got anything else other than go BattleHawks? Oh, look.
Oh,
You
have
see
a good
Eric?
night. Oh, yeah.
You're getting kudos now. Hats off, Eric.
Thanks.
Well done, you're saying. All right, man. We will see you guys Sunday.